Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This before you is the red, and this one has been used in Mecca. It is the piece which has the Saudi emblem on there, and in terms of size this is around 120 by 65, and this one in particular has been made from wool. So prior to around 2014, Mecca and Medina, they used red, and after 2014 they changed both Mecca and Medina to use green. So this is used before 2014, and this one in particular is from wool. This is variation number 1. The second variation is when they moved from red, they then produced green. And all three here, red and both of the green here, have been used in Mecca. Now this second one here is what we call the middle piece, because it is from the center of the musalla, and again used after 2014, and this one has been cut by us and has been professionally finished on the back. Okay, so you can see the thickness of the musalla. Again, green, used in Mecca. The third piece, which is this one over here, this one again is from Mecca after 2014, and the sizes are similar to, these are very similar in size, 120 by 55 approximately. Okay, so there are three variations. You have the red from Mecca before 2014 and the green from Mecca after 2014. One is before and one is after. Now this one, as shown previously, is the green from Medina. Now you're probably thinking this looks very similar to the one from Mecca. However, there is a difference in the design. When you compare them side by side, which I will show you in a moment, you can see there is a subtle difference in the design. Now the design is one aspect to look for, and the other element to look for is the size. Now for this one, the others were 120 in length. This one is 133. So it is 13 centimeters longer, and that's one way to note the carpets from Medina. And this one is significantly wider, and that's because we've cut it wider, but also based on the design that we have, the Medina carpets do tend to be much wider in design. The Mecca, so this one over here, okay, this one is actually in full size, it's 3 meters. They come in 3, they come in 4. Same for these. The green from Mecca, they come in 3 or 4 meters in width. However, this one over here, this is 5.5 meters wide. And for Medina, they tend to come 4.7 meters, 5.5 meters, maybe even 6 meters wide, maybe even longer than 6 meters as well. They come very wide. You see, for Medina, obviously in Masjid al-Nabawi, the masjid was built to face the Qibla. In Mecca, and the way you can see the building design, the safs are completely straight, they're not at a diagonal. However, in Mecca, because you have the Kaaba in the middle, the rows cannot be too wide, otherwise you will pray salah not facing towards the Qibla. So for Mecca, they make 3 meter and 4 meter widths, and for Medina, they are permitted to make them wider because of the Qibla and the direction in Masjid al-Nabawi. Okay, so as I mentioned, just to recap, you have the red for Mecca, you also have the green from Mecca as well, and then you have the green, so red and green for Mecca, and then you have the green from Medina as well. Now just to show you a comparison, in terms of side by side, putting them two together, let me just show you. Okay, so the one, this is Mecca and this is the Medina. You can see there is a slight difference in the colour as well as the design. It's not exactly the same. For many of you it will look very similar, but there is some subtle differences in the design. And like I said, the design is one element, but you have to look at the size. You also have to have there will be a scent of Mecca and there will be a scent of Medina, and they are both different. So this is something else to look for, but these are some of the variations that we have available. This one, you have the Saudi emblem on there, which is Medina. We also do the same one for Mecca. We just don't have it available at the moment, but it is something that will be available soon. The last one I want to show you is the Rawda. Okay, so this is another piece, again available if you have a look on Etsy Haramain Antiques or eBay Haramain Antiques, or Instagram. You can search up our page on Instagram as well. This is one from the period of King Fahd. So this was as a runner, again around 4 meters in width, and this has been cut. Okay, this one in particular was actually used in Medina, and I believe it would have been for one of the individuals behind the Imam. So when we received it, this is approximately 1.1 meters wide. So it was actually 1.2 or 1.3 meters wide, and we've cut it down slightly, just because it's, even at the moment, it's still very, very wide. So we will probably cut it a little bit more, just to make it a comfortable width for Salah. And then the end pieces will be framed and be available as Rawda carpet from the period of King Fahd. So this is another variation. The beige and the cream were from the period of King Fahd, and they were exclusively, that particular colour was made for the Rawda as well. So there's another variation. So there are many variations. These are just only some of them that we've covered. But the purpose of this is to sort of show you that you have the red and the year it came from. You have the green and the year the green was placed as well. And that you also have the beige, which is from the Rawda. So you have a selection here that we have available from Mecca, from Medina, and from the Rawda. And again, feel free to have a look. They are all online on Etsy, on eBay, and on Instagram as well. You can search us up on Google, Haramain Antiques, or feel free to message us on here, inshallah, or to comment, and we'll respond as soon as possible. But it's something to keep for yourselves, to pass down to your children. It's something used in the two holy mosques as well. And yeah, there are a number of variations that meet different budgets. So you have the one with the Saudi emblem. This is obviously the signature exclusivity of these carpets for the Haramain, and this one tends to be, the one with the Saudi emblem on there tend to be the most expensive in price. Then you have the middle section, which I showed you earlier, which does not have this. And then you have the end piece, which is this one over here. And that tends to be the one lowest in budget because it's a non-symmetrical piece. So there are 3 variations for you to choose from, and obviously the 4th variation is the one which is the full size. So you can take the full runner, which is uncut, it's complete, not been cut or amended or anything like that. So you also have that available. And then you also have the larger carpets available, which are 5 by 4 meters, 4 by 3 meters, etc. So there are even larger ones available So if you don't want an individual piece or you don't want a runner, then you can purchase a full-size carpet, and that will be something to the size of your living room as well. So these are the variations available. Again, have a look on online, and do message us if you need any information, advice or guidance, inshallah. Jazakumullah khair for watching. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.